Ladies and gentlemen, my name is XPC Reaper. Today I'm taking a look at a little game called Mountain Blade with Fire and Sword. I can't remember which one is which. Was I playing as Falnar or Fjolnir? I'll see what this one is. But regardless, okay, crap. So I loaded in the one I've got less progress with. But you know what? Okay, that's alright. I can handle that because I'm going to try to find bandits. Since I've only got one person in my party, surely a bunch of looters wouldn't be afraid of me. Surely they'd be more than content to run up and try to kill me. And that's what's important. I can show you the early game content in this, and I can show you the sort of later game. The options menu, a lot of it is taken care of through an external launcher, and it's quite old, this game, but that is to say, this game runs well on a lot of systems, and it might not be the most pretty looking title you've ever come across, but it's definitely far from the ugliest. And the key strength of this game isn't the fact that it's got AAA quality graphics or anything. A lot of games sacrifice gameplay for the actual graphics. In terms of this has the gameplay, and I suppose at the time it could have been the graphics. It could have been okay at the time. It's still definitely passable now. You're probably wondering, okay, well what the hell do you do in this? Is this a clicking simulator? No, that's Diablo 3. Seriously, that's all you do in the game. That's why I wasn't paying £20 for it. Yeah, this is the world map part of it. And what you do in the world map is you decide where you're going. And it looks like I'm not actually allowed to go that far north. So alright, let's not go that far north. Now, you can see it's got a day and night cycle. That's important for it because at night time you're going to have to move slower, like your character won't move about the world map as quickly. Not only that, at night time there are going to be less patrols from the cities that you're going to come across, counts, armies, things like that. And you're going to be more isolated in terms of things, but to counteract that, a lot of bandits seem to operate during the days. I mean, looters generally tend to operate during daylight hours, whereas there are some bandits that will appear at night. Okay, well here's 8 bandits, and these guys, I've got a choice. I can pay money to them to let me pass and just to go about my business, or I can fight them. And I'm going to show you the combat because it's more important to fighting in this. You can do things in a pretty much entirely diplomatic way where you're going to be avoiding combat, but you're probably going to become a bit of a trader, perhaps. Maybe that's what you're going to make your fortune in. So here are the enemies. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a shot on them. And you'll notice my reticule doesn't actually come down to precise T. And that's because my guy isn't skilled enough using this stuff yet. You see, I improved my proficiency in firearms, but no matter how much I improve my proficiency, I also have to consider the fact that, you know, there are skill points I would have to invest, for example. And these guys, fortunately, are just as bad with weapons as my character. They're missing me, and I can keep backing up. Like, if I slowly back up bit by bit, they're going to have just as much difficulty hitting me as I'm going to hit them. But they shot my horse for 30 damage, which is definitely not going to help. He's probably felt that, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe he's not as keen on them. I received 15 damage myself there. And since these guys are primarily ranged weapon focused, maybe it'd be just as effective to charge them and to beat them up in melee combat. Now, since I'm sort of circling around them, these guys are going to be like, well, you know, this is... maybe it's time for me to use melee. So they've started hitting me with the butt of their gun, for example, and I can run past them. Since I'm charging past them and smacking them with my sword, I'm gonna get a benefit for actually hitting them with speed. That's gonna add kinetic motion to each of my attacks. So the faster I swing my blade through them, the more it's gonna hurt them. I'm sure you can almost guess that point. Now, he's dead, and this guy has realized, you know what, all of my friends are dead, so I think I'm going to try to retreat, and I think I'm not going to want him to retreat, so I can shoot him down. But the enemies, since there were 8 of them and 1 of me, you know, it makes sense. If I was in a group with 8 people, and I wanted to get the money off of someone, if it was 1 person, I wouldn't think, you know, ooh, happy days, this is going to be really easy to take them out. I would think, obviously, that's the fact. There are 8 of us versus 1 of him. Now, you do get a benefit for being a player character. Obviously, you've got better intelligence than their AI. But it all comes down to how well armed you are. Like, for example, if that was a group of people I had encountered and they were running about in close quarters combat and they had pitchforks and they were coming up against a man with an armoured steed, for example. I'm just going to quit out to the menu because that's showing you what things are like as a day 1. Or day 4, like a very low level character. Now if I join into this character, you'll see I've got me. I'm on 100% life. I've got 4 staff militiamen, I've got 1 per Cossack, I've got 3 Possad marksmen, I've got 1 farmer, 2 peasant women, 2 per Cossack pikemen, and I've got a significant number of mercenaries as well. And how I've got those is, I could go to this town, like at the moment I've reached my party limit, but what I could do is, bandits have driven away our cattle and our pastures are empty. If we had but a few head of cattle, we could start to raise a new herd. Now, unfortunately, I'm no good with doing that. I'm not good at farming, all that sort of stuff. Now, those guys, for example, are traveling to this town of Wadawa. If I want, I can be evil towards these people, and I'll try and remember just who. There's a red city in this, like there was a red town, a small little village which was populated by nothing but peasants and farmers, and what I did, since I was running low on money, I thought, you know, I need to make money to actually pay my party, because my party has a weekly cost. If I'm not paying those guys, they're not going to stick about for me. That's just obvious. If I wasn't being paid, I wouldn't actually do the work that was being asked of me, because it's just stupid to give away free labour, especially if you're on something as dangerous as mercenary work. And since there are 33 of us, like if we look, there's a caravan. 29 people. Okay, so they've got 12 mercenary halberdiers. They've got... oh. Now you know what? Hold there, my good man. Hand over your... robbing you? No, it was only a joke. Now I could be nice and I could say it's like, you know what? God, don't joke about that for a moment there. I thought I was in real trouble. No, you've no need to worry. You're yellow. I am not going to have any problems with the yellows. I am sort of, in this character, I'm aligning myself towards helping the Polish Commonwealth. And then the Kingdom of Sweden, I'm not going to help them half as much. I am actively going to be against them. In fact, I am going to rob their villages and I am going to kill their peoples. Now, they've got 4 musketeers, 6 dragoons, 2 Swedish riders and 2 pikemen. They've got 3... oh... They've got a prisoner who is a brigand. I don't want to burn that city while I've got a patrol, because those patrols are going to spot it and they're going to report it back. And what's going to happen is I'm going to end up in a little bit of trouble, because people generally tend to frown upon me slaughtering their villages and taking their things. But if I was to get to a point, say there, for example, Polish Commonwealth, alright. It's surrounded by Polish Commonwealth, so there's going to be less of a likelihood that it's going to be patrolled by the Kingdom of Sweden's guards. And that just to me means this little village is ripe for the taking. Now, you've paid 113 of your 3,014 thaler to your men, so I've got 2901. Alright, fair enough. But here's a little something which you should also consider. You can start out like peasant women. They're going to cost me 1 in weekly wages. And a lot of these guys are only costing me 1 in weekly wages. But then we come to the riflemen and the infantrymen, for example. Those are guys I hired as militia, and since they're mercenaries, they're experienced. So what I am going to do is I'm going to loot and burn the village. Now, unfortunately, what this doesn't do is put you into a case of you get to go in and your looting is dependent on if you kill all the civilians, then you're able to take whatever you want. Instead, it just goes into an automatic burning of the entire town. But here's a nice thing. We get to loot a lot of valuable stuff from them. Now, you can see velvet, spice. I've obviously got a significant number of dried meats. I've got breads, I've got sausages, wheat, rotten chicken and rotten pork. I do not want to sell that to my boys. I don't want my guys eating rotten food. You wouldn't either, I'm sure. So I am going to see if they've got... Yes, they do. Chicken and pork, so I'm going to take that. So my party is going to be kept in very good spirits because I've got +1, +3, +7, +11, +20, +24 to the party morale. So my guys are going to be pretty damn happy when it comes to it. And smoked fish, even better. I've got more morale now. And the rest of this stuff, like the oil for example, and the tools, I can take that. Yes, it's going to weigh my party down, but at the same time, I'm going to be able to sell this on. So I haven't had to pay a single penny for all of this stuff. And yet, I'm going to be able to sell this on to people. Wine. We are so taking wine with us. Yeah, wine is definitely getting taken, because wine, as far as I'm aware, doesn't actually go off. So we've completely buggered that village pretty much, and that village is going to take a fair while to actually come back to prosperity. But you can see we're moving a lot slower now. During the day, of course, we move fine. There's a cattle herd following me. Okay, that's alright. So we're going to go to Kovno's fortress, approach the gates, request entry into the fortress. Right, now we're going to go to a marketplace and we're going to go to a goods merchant. Now he's selling the oil for 400. We can get 337 a piece off of him. How much would linen? Velvet would go for 943. And if I was to talk to the arms merchant, for example, how much would he give me for it? So he'd give me 943 as well. So in total, I've got a few thousand thaler here. I could definitely make a fair little penny off of him. This matchlock carbine has 72 ranged power, 73 accuracy, 71. And it's got a speed rating of 36. And that's an improvement, but if I was selling a... I'd be paying a lot for what's a very minor improvement, to be perfectly honest. Now, a matchlock musket would be slower to reload, but it would be more powerful by, say, about 11%. Let's talk to our armoured merchant. What has he got for us? Has he got anything? We could buy this for 2,400, which would give us a fair number, like, it'd give us a significant increase in our head armour of 17 points. But then we have to think about, is that going to be worth it? And I honestly think so. I think it's going to be worth it to sell it onto him. So I'm going to give him that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him powder, furs, and velvet, so that it's going to cost me 660 hides as well. I may as well put the hides in there. Oh, I forgot I had butter. Right. Do I want to check? You know what? Let's give them the tools, because at the moment the buying price for them, they would sell for about 400, and I can use them to get, if I sell all of them, I get 999. But you see the way it goes: 356, 328, 307, 278, 258. That's because the more of an item you sell to a person, the less value it has. If you're buying in bulk, you're going to buy things cheaper, which is pretty good. Now, I'm going to visit the tavern. You're probably thinking, visit the tavern? Why would you possibly do that? 7 of his mates are looking for a famed commander. Now these are marksmen, so 184 thaler to get me 8 marksmen. Bloody right, I'll do that. Now there's a ransom broker as well. Let's talk to him. I don't actually have any prisoners, but if I did have prisoners, what I can do is I can sell them. I'd like to buy every man. You know what? Why the hell not? I've bought drinks for everyone, and I just got the achievement Nazdrowie, which is, of course, it's a Polish greeting, which it just means cheers. It's just whenever you're taking a drink, it's just polite to say Nazdrowie. It's quite common, you'll actually hear it, like, you've probably heard it a multitude of times before, because it's just a real world thing. Now, what is this cattle hurl? Drive the cattle onward. Yep, right. So let's take them to Vendai. Alright. Now we are going to take these cattle over here, and we are going to talk to the elder. Now, I could teach these guys how to defend themselves. Alright, if you can teach us how to defend ourselves, I promise you'll receive everything we can in return for your efforts. Right, now, train the peasants. So train them for 11 hours. Right, so let's spend 11 hours training these guys. And what's going to happen is these guys are going to become more proficient combatants. Now you'll see those bandits walked right by the village. That's because there were 8 of them. 8 of them against 1 of me, you know? Now, he's doing pretty damn well. Because if I do this, for example, he knows he's going to want to block that direction. And there are 4 directions you can attack. You can have a thrust, you can have an overhead, you can have a left and a right, and your blocking will be dependent on that. Now, let's train them a little bit more. Because the more I train them, the better off they're going to be. So I'll train them this time again, put the peasants through the basics of soldiering. You believe that one of them has fully grasped the training while is ready for some practice. Okay, So 2 of their people know how to defend themselves now, which is a real bit of a bugger, to be perfectly honest. Now, this guy actually has got the hang of it, but he wasn't as good as me, which is respectable. Now, screw it, train them again. And hopefully more than one of them will grasp it this time. Because the more of them... Okay, only one of them has grasped it, so I guess I'm fighting this bugger again. So, if they've got 3 guys in the village who know how not to die, at least maybe... Alright, I can handle one person being able to defend themselves. No, I knocked him unconscious. So, continue. Now, let's talk to the elder. God. How many people do I have to train? Can I sell some cattle? It's not letting me sell my cattle, which irritates me because I would very much like to get rid of these cattle. So we're gonna slaughter 5 of them, and we're gonna get ourselves a lot of beef. Now, unfortunately for each of these menus, you do have to click each time, and you just click once, that'll select it, click down where you want to place it again. That's the important... there's still one of you left. Oh, sorry buddy. Well, on the plus side, we're gonna have so much fresh beef that by the end of it, a significant portion of it is probably going to be rotten. Now, what we could do is... That said red party, so the party is waiting. Are those guys hostile? I'm not sure what that darker background means. Does that mean these guys don't like me? Right, we've got 10 character renown, we've got 1 honor rating, we've got party morale of 99 and a party size limit of 74. Sweden doesn't like us and the Cossacks don't like us. Everyone else is alright. So, I think it's a little mean that Sweden doesn't like us. So, I am going to see, maybe you guys would care to buy some items. Would that be something you guys would be wanting to do? Because I feel bad that we're not getting along. I do, truly. So I am going to supply you with plenty of beef, so that you won't actually have any money left. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to loot and... Oh no, let's... at least 1 hour to piss these guys off. Grudgingly bring some. I just sold you that. And you bring me nothing this time? This is an insult. And as an insult, I shall have to defend my honor by looting and burning your village. I know it sounds a little strange to say I'm defending my honor by looting and burning a bunch of peasants, but you don't have to be a good guy in this. And a lot of the time, it's much, much easier to be a villain. But you don't want to piss off every kingdom, because that would just be silly. Raw silk for 600, you say? I shall take that without a doubt. Oil iron might be handy. Honey. My party might like some honey. Assuredly. Date fruit now. Olives. Olives are quite a luxurious item, certainly. So we're going to take that off them. And apples. You know, I'm more of an oranges fan myself, but at the end of the day, I can't really loot and burn their village because I didn't have oranges. Because I already looted and burned it because I didn't like them. No, I could go there. Riga belongs to the Kingdom of Sweden. There's Svensk Castle. Now, oh, it's currently under siege. I wonder, might I be able to join in the siege against it? That would most certainly be a fun thing to do. So, approach the gates and hail the guard. No, 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 no. Muscovite Tsardom. Okay. I am Fjolnir. I am Prince Semyon Prozorovsky, a noble of the Muscovite Tsardom and the Lord of Tula. Perhaps you are not of gentle birth, but if you prove your courage and honor, then I would consider you an equal on the battlefield. So, what is your business? A considerable amount of money to Semyon Urusov, 4,000 thaler. He was supposed to pay it back within the month, but I haven't received a copper from him since. And this was months ago. If you collect the debt from him on my behalf, I would be grateful indeed. I would even let you keep 1/5 of the amount for your trouble. If you leave now and move quickly, you should be able to find him in Novgorod. I've little doubt that he will be suitably embarrassed by his conduct and give you all the money he owes. I shall make him repay this debt. Now, where he is at is Novgorod. Where might Novgorod be? Let's see. So it's the Muscovite Tsardom. Show on map. Ah, it's this way, you say? Certainly. I shall collect your debt, and I shall return it to you. Actually, he owes 4,000 thaler, and I like the Commonwealth more than the Muscovite Tsardom. Yes, he had a considerable army behind him, but 4,000 thaler, I might be able to buy one to rival it. So I could do the good thing and repay that debt. Or alternatively, oh, there's bandits and they're running from me, but they're running too slowly and I'm faster. Oh, now I got slowed down by moving into the forest. Oh well, that's rather unfortunate, but we're gonna wait here and camp here until the morning. And that's gonna give my men a chance to eat and drink and be merry, and that's gonna increase the morale, and anyone who's injured is gonna be brought back to full health. If I wait long enough, it's also an effective way to regain your own health. But Novgorod, alas, it is time to see if he is in. Approach the gates. Who might this warlord Yuri fellow be? Noble of Muscovite Kingdom and the Lord of Novgorod, perhaps. I wish to ask. Let's see. It wasn't Semyon Prozorovsky. It was Semyon Urusov. Okay, I beg my leave of you. No. There he is. Ooh, so he's got a significant number of people. Noble of Muscovite Tsardom and Lord of Ugov, or Ulgov. I've come to collect the debt you... Oh, well, Prince Semyon Prozorovsky did lend me quite some silver a while back, but I've done him quite a few favours in the past, and that money was due to me. Prince Semyon Prozorovsky considers it a debt. I still don't see why I should go along with what you're asking of me. Let me try and convince you. Attempt to persuade. Try to persuade, but none of my arguments seem to come out right. Your skills of persuasion have saved you minus $100. Okay. So can I don't think I owe you such a favor, Fjellnir. I see no reason to accept this. Even for you. Can I force him? Very well. Okay. No, I paid him 900 and I got 4,000. Am I gonna be a good man to that other fella? I'm not really keen on him. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go into city and I'm going to sell some stuff. Request entry. I'm going to go to the marketplace. Arms merchant, what might you have? Ooh, for 4,000 thaler, that is a very tempting deal and one which I am going to go away with. What? Oh, it requires 8 strength. Never mind. But at the very least, here, I can sell this raw silk I have. It's totally 100% legitimate, and you should absolutely believe me when I say that. It's not like I stole it or anything. Ha ha ha. Now, if we visit the tavern, anyone I can hire? Ooh, light cavalryman. 354 thaler for that. Let's see now. We've got that. So let's leave and let's see if we can find a nice little party. We've got 47 people in this group. I want to find a group of about 30 trained soldiers, because I have about 30 trained soldiers myself, and the rest of them are just people I've recruited from the villages and the outlying areas. And I want to show you the larger scale combat in this, because there is something really cool about taking on 40 enemies when you've got a party of 40 of your own. So I'm going to get to the top of this hill and let's wait here for some time until morning comes. Now it's dawn. Dawn is a good time of day to go to war. Unfortunately, it's never really clear about the boundaries of the map, so sometimes you'll find yourself wandering towards it without even actually realizing where you're going. So let us see. Let us see, I tell you. Come on, there's bound to be someone in need of an arse kicking. Ooh. So he's got cavalry, he's got armed serfs, and he's got lances, and he's got the prince. So you know what? He's got more people than us. But I believe... Indeed, if you really want to die today, I'd be more than happy to oblige you, but I'm curious as to what you hope to accomplish. That is none of your business. Prepare to die. So, I've got 47 troops for battle. They've got 50 something. But, here's the thing. I've got a significant number of marksmen. So a lot of their fellas are going to have... Well, they're going to get shot down before they actually get to me. And the other ones are going to get taken on by a bunch of people with lances, for example. They've got a lot of people on horses. Come on, marksman. Stop sprinting towards them. Shoot the buggers. So I shot someone's horse there. That's the thing. Right, come on, fellas. Yep, I think a lot of my fellas are going to actually die here today because of this. It's a good job I didn't really like this party that I had built up anyway. Yeah, so far they've killed a whole pile of my guys, and my guys have not really killed a whole pile of them. So this could very well come down to me trying to fight off an army of God knows however many soldiers. And if it does come to that, that will be unfortunate, won't it? But we've managed to take out some of their guys. I feel if you take out some of them, that's more than reasonable, isn't it? And a lot of my guys are actually retreating now because of fear. And this to me is a bad thing because it indicates my party is comprised of cowards who would rather run away with dishonor than to die as a warrior should. Now, you want to die, don't you? So I really shouldn't have taken on that party. And I appreciate that I really shouldn't have. They've got enough marksmen that I was a little stupid to do such a thing. No, light cavalrymen. Hey, I still do have guys. They're just over in that far hill. That's awesome. With any luck, their guys are going to run out of ammo soon. Stop attacking my horse, you colossal twat. You should never attack a poor innocent animal. My animal is not evil, it's just my intentions. Ergo, you should leave my horse alone. If a man allies himself with the devil as a job, it should be taken as a job, and not, as you seem to believe, as alignment. So I do believe that I am screwed. But you know what? Gonna keep fighting to the end. Will I ever surrender to this party? No, absolutely not. Get off that horse, you colossal dipshit. I didn't expect them to have so many guys on horses. I really did not expect that. And unfortunately, I've only got a finite amount of rounds as well. Bollocks. Should have gone for the larger target, shouldn't I? I really should be doing that while I've got a larger reticule and everything. That didn't work. It would have been cool if I had shot him off the horse and he fell dead as I sprinted towards him. I mean, there's no doubt that would have been cool. But unfortunately, I'm just running about and I'm only gaining experience at this point. It's just a case of experience. Now, what's going to happen after this battle is I'm going to be knocked the hell out. And they're going to be pissed at me. Ooh, 1 killed, 1 wounded, 1 righted. Feeble bastards. But at least... Okay, so we lost 47. And they lost 11. I'm taken prisoner. And he's taken 1,859. Joke's on you, you've still got your princes under 2,000. Now, there's going to be a point where I'm going to escape from them. You find a chance and escape from your captors. Now, what do I have in my inventory? They took my shirt and my gun. Didn't take my helmet, but they took my shirt. Dicks. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a look at Mountain Blade with Fire and Sword. If you think the guns look too overpowered, and you feel that that would ruin the game for you, go for Mountain Blade Warband instead. If you would rather go for the original Mountain Blade, it's kind of inferior to Warband in every single way. I'm not going to lie about that. So, thank you very much for tuning in this video, and I will see you next time.